Yes.
but we should be getting underway here any second. So grab some popcorn if you haven't already. Grab a drink, as we are going to actually be heading right into Villa. Our first map, number 1. So Susquehanna, you're going to have to, I don't know how to say the name. The Soniqs versus Team Liquid. I'm joined again by Josh Snipes. How you doing?
Doing good. And Susquehanna Soniqs, very hard name to pronounce, and a very hard team to beat, apparently. They took a barn burner match against FaZe, knocking them out. And this is, I believe, LATAM's only chance to make it past the quarters. So right now we are in the quarterfinals. Hit exclamation multi if you want to watch all the streams at once. They are all going on. We are the last stream to start up because this match, the Soniqs match and Sonic versus FaZe, ended a little bit later than everyone else. So we're going to be letting this get underway, seeing what bands are going to be playing. And we're going to see some pretty good gameplay today, I imagine.
And I also do want to make an announcement. BDS just beat out G2 Esports. So the Challenger League team just made it into Challenger League team, has beaten the Titans of Siege, and that's going to be the second event in a row that is not going to go in favor of G2, which is, I mean, it sounds like that's kind of like, oh, well, I mean, like a lot of events happen that way. But, I mean, G2 they're the Titans of Rainbow Six Siege right now, and to lose like that, especially this early on in a because that was a decider match. That match just ended. So to lose in a decider match, not even quarters, semis, or even the grand finals, something's got to be going on with G2.
Actually, a rematch between those two teams. I did see them play earlier. So I mean, it's a lot on the line between those two teams. Really, I'm curious to see what that sort of leaves you to do. What that leaves them, like what they're thinking now. But heading on over to our match, we're getting underway. Heading on to Aviator and Games Room. I'm curious to see how they decide to play this. This map is very friendly to the defender's side, so it's going to be up to the Soniqs to really slow them down.
Yeah, definitely look to seeing the Soniqs try to slow down not only one of the powerhouses inside of LATAM, but a powerhouse just in general, as like you were saying, we saw them really take it to G2 in the earlier stages of this morning. So Liquid really looking to prove themselves here at DreamHack Montreal, and it looks like they're going to be going over to the Aviator and Games Room to start things off.
Yeah, and this is, I'd say, one of the typical two sites. Normally you go here, or you go with Astronomy and Statue over on the other side of the map. I'm curious to see if they hold this the exact same way that most teams hold it, or if there's going to be any little changes or any roams below or anything like that that we might see come out from Liquid. Very aggressive team, as most of LATAM usually is, but also very smart. They have a lot of...
Well, you cut out
the rest of these maps.
I don't know what happened there, but you cut out for me for just a second. But either way, it looks like we're going to be seeing that roam clear over on the Astronomy side of things. The Mira has been banned out, so it's surprising to see this type of a push, but possibly just because they're aware of not only the Cade, not only the Bandit, but possible... No, I guess those are the only two, is there's no impacts available. And it looks like Donphy's actually already made his way aggressively onto the 90 hallway. We'll choose to fall back over towards the top of Red Stairs and make this push happen onto the Aviator doorway. Again, just trying to see if they can't make this push start to happen here, as it's going to be Nesk to try to hold on to the main stairs. I'm not sure what happened to my TeamSpeak there, but I'm going to continue this cast either way, as it looks like it's going to be Nest to take the first kill there, but actually will get shut down by Gonfi. That's going to be a nice kill there, but Moringa comes flying in with the Nitro Cell, but this Montaigne from Super is going to be proving very tricky for this defense. He's actually covering quite well, but Moringa slides forward, takes down Slevin, he stops the plant as well, but no, that's actually PSK that stops it. The Montaigne is going to be forced to unshield to try to combat this Maestro, but it's going to be PSK with a nice headshot, and Sexy Cake cleans things up on the MP7. What a round there from Team Liquid. But yeah, I don't have no idea what just happened there. Hold on.
Connection lost.
What's happening? Are you there?
Yep.
What
I don't know what in the world just happened with TeamSpeak.
Me neither. I've got no clue.
Connected.
But
anyways.
Yeah. Either way, we're gonna be going on to round number 2 here. So, an excellent round there from Liquid to really come back. It looked like that was gonna be a Soniqs round, but Liquid really proven themselves in the clutch there.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing to me was that Soniqs pushed in pretty quick, actually gained a lot of ground. Sophia was pretty much at the game room door by the time the minute had passed, so great job to him, but just unable to really finish out that round.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate to say the least, but either way, we're going to be seeing Liquid rotating their way over to the statuary and the trophy room. So it should be interesting to see how they choose to defend this. As it looked as though we're going to be seeing Moringa. He's going to be making those shotgun holes into the floor next to the master wall, and that's going to allow for him to toss in those electro claws into the floor and just give them a little bit more protection. Are we going to just see a complete rush in through the boar window? It looks like we are, but we're actually going to be missing it as we're going to be spectating Sexy Cake. It's going to be 2 quick kills for Liquid. A third as Ness picks one up. He'll pick up 2, leaving it all up to Super and Goddess as PSK has also been downed.
What in the world is happening on the attacking side right now? We're not even 30 seconds in when all that went down. Not even a minute down left, but 2v4 right now. Goddess on the Hibana, a little bit faster operator than if she was on that Thermite that she's normally on. But right now, Super and Goddess have to really work together and be able to close out this round, but it might just be too little too late because 2v4 is not the most winnable situation.
Yeah, definitely not. And Goddess already using all of those flashbangs, does still have the X-Kairos to play with, but as Super tries to vault in, it's going to be Paulo to shut him down, and Moringa bodies Goddess with that assault, or with that slug shotgun. That's
gonna go in Liquid's favor this time around. So unfortunate that they weren't really able to do anything. But then again, it's a 2v4. There's only so much you can really do with 2 people. And Liquid's not one of those teams that likes to give up any sort of man count lead like that. So not surprising with the outcome of that round. Yeah,
definitely not indeed. And another that was a crazy round. I mean, we saw it, but I saw it coming, but the spectator obviously just shut it off just in time to miss the Russian through that boar window. But that had the potential to be a very devastating round for Team Liquid. But good on them to be ready for that rush and to have all of the guns in the proper spots and for them to be on their toes for it as well. So good play from Team Liquid. We will be seeing them go now down to the kitchen. So kind of typically your third bomb site on a map like Villa. Don't normally get to see teams go towards dining too often.
I think the biggest thing for me too is I think if Soniqs can at least get 3 rounds, hopefully 4, depending which way this goes. I think I mean, you gotta hope you want to get as many attack runs as you possibly can, because defense on this map, I feel like this map overall is a little bit more defender-sided on most of the sites, given that you have so much roaming capability. So when you have strong roamers like you do on Liquid, it's kind of hard to take them down in such a efficient fashion that you're able to actually still get to execute off and work as a team. So it's not surprising the way that this has been going, but going on a dining room, just like you were saying, not a common site, usually that third site that people like to go for, never really a second site, but we're gonna see how Soniqs decide to attack it this time around.
Yeah, it seems as though they're going to be seeing a kind of a tight hold on the top floor here. Is you've got PSK stuck inside of the master closet. I'm not really too sure what the play there is, but he's got the ADSs to play with, and he's also got the M1014 shotgun in hand. Moringa, though, is going to take the first kill out onto Slevin, so not finding too much luck will be Slevin, freshly moving over from the Europe over to come play for the Susquehanna Soniqs. So not really seeing too much here on his debut for the quarterfinals. As Gonfi, he'll shut down Moringa. He'll shut down a second one on the nest, but a headshot there. But Paulu comes in from the RKO, and it's Goddess there to finally trade it out. I'm not even too sure what's happening yet. They've completely forgotten about this top floor hold, leaving Sexy Cake and PSK all alone upstairs. But what is this angle from Sexy Cake? Will finally get the shins of Super, leaving us in a 2v2 situation. Such little HP, though, on Goddess.
That's a minute 30 down, so they still have a whole nother half of this round if it ends up going that distance, with Goddess on little to no HP. Sexy Cake still upstairs on the mute. He's a very formidable SAS operator user, especially the shotgun and SMG-11 combo. Double shotgun. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able to close this round out without being able to... They have to close the distance. That's the thing. If they're not able to, they might run into some issues. Plant is currently going down. Nep actually gets taken down. Sexy Cake gets a kill on this round. It's the second one here. Goddess has to get this 1v2 clutch, and PSK coming in strong, taking out Goddess. That's 3 rounds unanswered for Liquid. I don't know what in the world is happening on Soniqs' comms right now.
I don't know either, but again, you talked about it. Sexy Cake. He is probably one. I said it like a couple maps ago, or last map, I guess, again with the Evil Geniuses and Necrox. But Sexy Cake, he's another one of those smoke mains that is probably definitely top 2, definitely top 5 smoke mains in the world. Sexy Cake, really playing that M10 that shotgun. As well as the SMG-11 perfectly. So
we're going to be going back up to Aviator and Games Room. Now, the question is, what do you change on your attack? Because the roam capabilities that you have on these top floor sites, you just have so many options. There's 3 floors to this map. Now, basement obviously doesn't ever get any sights, but you can come in from basement. You can rotate through basement. Do you try to roam clear downstairs, or do you sort of just keep going with what they're doing and just pushing upstairs, not really dealing with anyone below? It doesn't seem like any C4s are coming out from below, but that might also just be the fact that it's not going that far. It's not going far enough to where you have to wait for that diffuser to go down.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of interesting. I mean, based off this lineup, I would assume that we're going to be seeing Slevin, Neptunes, and Gonfi try to go for a little bit of a roam clear here. I mean, they've got the lineup to do so, but you got to be careful about how you use those operators, because you want to be able to keep some of your smoke off ability with the Jackal as well as the Capitao available for when it comes time for the plant, but you also need to be able to deal with these roamers that have been causing so much havoc for you as of late. And again, it looks like we're going to be seeing Sexy Cake roaming downstairs inside of living room.
You can stop worrying about grenades now.
One of the biggest things is going to be how they adjust to this roam play. All those barricades, it's just slowing this team down from being able to push in on their attack, especially all these holes and all the vertical play we've been seeing. It really hinders a team from trying to make their way in. This 90 position is so important to hold that if they're unable to get control of it due to Sexy Cake being below inside library, I don't think that they're going to be able to win out this round, because they won't have enough push or territory that they've grabbed going into the execute and going into the latter half of this round.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting here. It looks like they're already getting very aggressive here onto the main door of Aviator. We could see them even just rotate right in as Sleben's going to be picking up on some of the footprints, but not going to be able to find anybody just yet. It's actually, no, it looks like he was actually throwing that on to Nesk, possibly. And Palu is trying to contest inside of the top of the main stairs, but it's Sexy Cake again down from below. This vertical pressure will take down Gonfi. So that's another one of the tie end operators off the board, that ACOG, as well as the ability to take down any Maestros. Ooh.
Sexy Cake roaming downstairs, able to drop on down. That's what I was talking about. You have that basement to be able to rotate on up. Paula not letting up on this position. Sexy Cake, as we were talking about, roaming back up on stairs. He doesn't have any pests, so he wasn't able to get that drone, but I don't really think he needs a drone when he's gonna maybe go for a gnarly flank. Super able to pick up Paula with that firebolt of the Capital.
Yeah, that's going to be another pick off there for the Soniqs. It's going to be Goddess taking that one on to Sexy Cake. So that roam presence done for the time being. Not going to have to worry about it, but a Nitro Saw going to come flying through as it's going to be Goddess and Sleben who both back off and save themselves for the time being. But another one from Moringa will take down Goddess as Neptunes just takes out another one onto Nesk, and PSK will shut down Neptunes, leaving us in a 2v2 situation. But the plant is coming down from Super as they are now in a post-play position, but Super hits the headshot through the smoke. It's left all up now to PSK on the Alda. Only has 33 bullets in the magazine, though, so not a full load, but does still have the opportunity to clutch this out if he plays his cards right. He knows he has one on the red stairs, one inside of Aviator, but doesn't know where the angles are going to be coming from. At the time being, he's just looking for the players for right now, but they're playing very safe. Super playing prone in behind this couch is going to be able to find the Maestro, but no, it's actually PSK to win that out. He could possibly go for the defuse here, but again, he's got Sleben on the red stairs. Not a lot of time here. He's going to either have to stick it or go for the frag, and it looks like he's not going to do either, as Sleben will end that round out and put the first round on the board for the Susquehanna Soniqs.
That was a fantastic job, smoking, planting, coming out from Soniqs. And they did lose the first planter, but they didn't let up. Sleben threw down another smoke. Super went in for the plant. Great post-plant positions. Unfortunately, Super did get taken out before taking out the Maestro. But I don't think overall, I think they're happy with being able to at least put a point onto the scoreboard. Make sure that, hey, we're not gonna get blown out at least. And I think if they can get at least 3-3 going into the next half, that's a pretty good start off for when you're playing your defense.
Yeah, definitely a big push off there for them. But again, we're going to be seeing a trophy and statuary room. So even though they have the Aviator and the games room available, they're going to be going back over to statuary, which is kind of interesting that they would choose to do that. But I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable here. The last time they did go to the site, it was just a complete rush out from the Soniqs in through the boar window, but hopefully we'll see a little bit more coordination come out here now from the Soniqs.
I think the biggest thing overall is not getting picked early. You saw it on that last round. They didn't get picked early. They got the picks they needed. Sure, they lost Gonfi on the Zofia, but they didn't let up from that. They didn't let that slow them down, and they were able to recover and actually won out the round. So last time we were here, it was a 2v5 situation that ended up not going in the Soniqs' favor, obviously. And I think the biggest thing is that Liquid needs to make sure that they don't lose any defenders too early on also, because it seems like these defenders are holding such hard objectives and holding the room so hard that when they die, there's no one to really back it up and reframe.
Yeah, that's very true, but like you said, we need to see them playing closer together, and hopefully we'll see that change out on this round, as it's already kind of confusing where they're going to be pushing from. It looks like they're actually pushing in through study, as the site is all the way over inside a statue, right? Yeah, but it looks like it's an Aviator hold with all the walls and whatnot, but as I don't even know what that was, but we switch over to Nesk, and he's just going to get blown out of the water by that Claymore from Super. Sleben falls early, but Gonfi is there for the trade, as we're now left with a 4v3 situation for the attack to try and work with. It looks like this mute or the smoke is actually being pinched out here on the bar desk. He'll actually get the shotgun kill on the Neptunes as it's Gonfi trying to find the frag, but the smoke canisters coming out are going to take down a little bit of his HP. A Super will finally find that kill onto the smoke inside of games.
That was a fantastic job clearing out that smoke, but it took a lot of people to do so. You lost your 2 entries. You do have Gomfi still, but you lost the Jackal and you lost the Ash. That's going to be another 1 set of your smokes at least goodbye. Not too sure if Super still has his smokes. You know that he was able to pick up a couple kills, though, so I guess the trade is there, but they like to play with these smokes for the execute, and it actually looks like Goddess is using the smokes on the Dokkaebi, so they actually pretty much prepared for the redundancy of having all of those smokes, being able to plant and have that execute go down.
Yeah, definitely looking to see those those smokes come down for the plant possibly. That's going to be a nice shot there through the wall by Moringa, going to shut down Gonfi, but being the Zofia, he's able to pick himself right back up, and that Firebolt's going to take him out of his corner. Goddess will be there to clean things up inside of Master, leaving things all up to PSK, but he's not going to get as far as inside of the statuary room before Gonfi shuts him down. Another excellent round there from the Soniqs.
One thing I'd like to point out too is that I think they actually got rid of their hard breach, because obviously Goddess playing Dokkaebi, and I think that the biggest thing was that they're realizing we're not getting into this wall. We're not opening the wall. We're not playing behind that. Let's just try to hold some angles, get some cutoff points, and make some progression onto the site. And it looks like Goddess is actually going to be bringing that Hibana once again, unless she decides to 6-pick off of it. And that's exactly what she's going to be doing, bringing the Dokkaebi again. Some fantastic plays. That 6-pick really becomes a mind game at this point, because you sort of prepare for a Hibana rather than preparing for a Dokkaebi. But there is a mute, so you do have that. The phones don't work inside mute jammers, but we'll see how much of an effect it really has on this next round.
Yeah, it should be interesting, definitely. Again, they're going back to Aviator and the bar, or the games room, so didn't really see too much success here for Liquid the last time they went to this bomb site, but maybe trying to see if they can't figure out something else. It was just a little bit of a fluke there, but gonna be bringing a fairly standard or similar lineup. This time it'll be, well, no, the first time they went here, I believe they brought a Bandit instead of the Mozzie, so they will be bringing the Mozzie again like they did the last time they defended Aviator, but that's actually kind of a cheeky Electroclaw there onto the vault wall. I don't know if you saw that or not, but I like that.
Yeah, and that's honestly the biggest thing about Cade that we've kind of seen, especially as he's been used more and more in Pro League, is there's so many options where you can put that Electro Claw. There's just so many different ways you can play around it, especially since you just need to get it within that sort of radius of the Electro Claw. It doesn't have to be directly on anything. So that's been one of the most interesting things that we've seen, especially as we've seen Cade sort of progress through into Pro League. And I think overall, him as an operator is pretty strong, especially given the fact that his shotgun is pretty much a DMR. But Moringa, actually, as we speak about the Cade, picking up a kill onto Slebin, that's going to be the Jackal goodbye. That's a lot of utility and smokes and just operator firepower off the board.
Yeah, definitely a good pick there. Looking through those holes down below to help his teammate. Neptunes will finally take out Sexy Cake, though, on that roam. So dealing with the Mozzie quite early on here before he is able to deal the damage that we saw him deal last round. But, again, they're going to have to deal with the Jaeger playing these main stairs, as Gonfi is going to figure that out the hard way, taking about half of his HP to that Jaeger. Palu playing this position similar to how we saw him play it last time, with those ADSs as well as that shield sitting covering him from the study door.
I think one of the biggest things is that Paula had a very powerful position on the stairs, given that he has a deployable shield. No one's really there to hold a crossfire, and I don't even know if they knew for a fact he was there. I would imagine you'd assume, just given the fact that he was there last time. But maybe they thought that they changed it up. But yeah, it was unfortunate Gonfi lost half of his HP. He seems to be finding a little bit of trouble kind of gaining traction, getting kills into each and every round so far, but maybe we'll see Gonfi come back and maybe get an opening pick on the execute for the site with 55 seconds left.
Yeah, still 55 seconds left, and still drones coming out here from the Soniqs as PSK is still trained on this angle onto the main stairs, trying to see if he can't find anything, but it seems as though everyone's already rotated up the main stairs for the time being, and they're actually going to be opening up this angle onto the bar, as that's going to be super. He'll be able to get that firebolt right in behind on the PSK as the grenade is going to come flying through from Neptune's, but it's met by a nitro cell from Moringa, keeping us at even man count. Damage still being done to Gonfi as he's going to be put down to 1 HP, and Palu's still on the red stairs. It's Moringa trying to stop that Hibana from rotating in, but it's Nest to take down Gonfi. He could possibly go for the plant goddess. I'm not sure what's going on, but as Palu rotates in through the middle, it's going to be a nitro cell from Nest to shut that plant down, leaving us all up to Super on the Capitao. Doesn't have a diffuser in hand and is not going to be able to find the frags as time will run out on the clock for Super, putting the 4th round on the board for Team Liquid as we switch over to our second half.
Now the question is what is their defense is going to look like over on Sonic's side? Because defense on this map really is a lot stronger than the attack, just because you don't have to go find all of those roamers, and you know what I mean. The only thing you need to do on defense is try to get some opening frags, some opening kills onto each round. So I'm hoping Gonfi will be able to do so, because right now Gonfi just not looking like he's showing up at all. But we'll have to see how this next half plays out, what exactly their game plan is. It looks like we're going to be going over to, I believe that was Aviator and Games Room. Yes, it is. So I'm curious to see if we see a hold differently, or maybe they do the exact same thing we were seeing from Liquid.
So Villa, I'd say it's a more defensive sided map, and I'd say that's probably a good first half there for the Soniqs. I mean, you come out of that 4-2, especially after those first 3 rounds. I think that 2 rounds there for the Soniqs definitely looks good for them as they switch over to their defense. But like you said, we're just going to have to wait and see exactly how they choose to capitalize now that they are on the defensive side.
And I think overall, one of the things that we're going to probably see is going to be the roam from Gonfi, or possibly even Neptune. But I'm not sure if they're going to be risking that Legion sort of roaming and trying to hold down something, because those Legion goo mines are super useful, especially as he gains more and more going into the later ends of the round.
Yeah, exactly. And we're still looking here. It looks like we're going to be seeing a study take just based on the way that Palu is attacking the site, as well as the other repels coming in onto this study balcony. Will be more than likely seeing the study take. So it'll be interesting to see if the Soniqs decided to make those same holes to deny the thermite charge from Sexy Cake. So, or at least putting it on the floor. But it doesn't look like they've made those shotgun holes in the floor, so Sexy Cake is going to be able to just thermite onto the main floor and open up at least a prone hole for the attackers to be able to look through. So definitely a big misplay there by the Soniqs.
But I think overall the biggest thing you're relying on is the fact that your impacts will actually be able to get it off the wall. That's the one downfall of bringing the thermite versus the Hibana here. But the problem is you have to rely that the Cade can actually get Hibana charges with the Electro Claw. So you kind of give and take, and you don't really have too much of a decision now, since the Cade could possibly be picked. Unfortunately, they didn't bring Cade, so they don't have those impacts and the Electro Claws to sort of deal with both of those hard breachers. But we'll see how this plays out into the later rounds, as Sexy Cake needs to try to make a move on in to get the side execute going.
Yeah, they definitely have to stop holding these angles and start making this push happen. There's about only a minute left, and first kill of the round is going to finally go down as Palu will pick off Slebin, trying to rotate in through down the stairs, having plenty of drones to try to cut off these angles. But again, 45 seconds left in the round, and we're looking at a kind of a stalemate here. Super is waiting and just lying in wait for this push to come out, but the smokes are going to force him off the angle just a little bit, as Goddess will find one, but gets downed in the process, and Nitro Cell will take down PSK as the wall is starting to get opened up next to the pool table. Rappel still coming out here from the attack as we're still locked at even man count as Moringa's actually taking damage from his own firebolt. But again, he'll just be able to walk his way right into sight, see if he can't find any angles, as it's going to be the Jaeger. How do you miss that many shots, Comfy? You're going to give away a free kill there to Moringa, as Paulo will take down Neptunes, leaving us in a 1v2 situation as Super has finished off Moringa. The plant's starting to go down, though, from Sexy Kick, as it's going to be all up to Paulo to try to cover here, but he'll get downed out as well by Super. A 1v1 situation here, and it's Super to win it out with a 4K on the round. How does he do it on the mute? What a clutch from Super.
Oh my goodness. Super is Superman. This is absolutely nuts play coming out from the captain of Soniqs. I cannot even imagine what those comms sounded like. Probably a lot of screaming right after he won and was able to take out that last man to close it out with a 4K on the round. You gotta feel good about that if you're the Soniqs. I'm hoping that maybe that swings the momentum in their way, putting this into a barn burner match and just making it go the distance on every single map. But we're gonna have to see how that's gonna translate into this next round. That was their first round of defense, so will they keep up that momentum? The problem is you can't rely on one person to close out a 1v3 every single time. Gotta do a little bit better on your defenses.
Yeah, definitely can't be relying on Super to do that every single round. But either way, what a round by Super nonetheless to get the 4K and put us here now 3-4. Taking that first defense of the half is definitely a big step here for the Soniqs as they try to push their way over towards the statuary and trophy side of things.
I think the biggest thing coming out from the Soniqs is you notice again how they don't have any impact nades on their side. And Slevin did bring the bandits, so you possibly do have a C4 depending on the loadout that you decided to choose. But you're gonna have the Mute and Mozzie C4s at the very least. And you don't have any impacts. They do keep bringing the Thermite in lieu of the Hibana, but it didn't really seem like the Thermite got used all that much in that last round. Sexy Cake was only able to get one wall open. I'm not too sure what happened with that second Thermite charge, but we'll see how they decide to play this one out.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting to see how this round unfolds, as a nice little drone here from PSK. Just going to be scaling across the building there. Will eventually find the drone hole he wants, but decides he wants to go in on the first floor. So after doing all of that parkour, he's just going to fall down anyway and start to drone out for possibly one of his teammates here trying to entry frag on the first level. But it does look like they have some holes set up for a possible push up these Astro stairs, and it doesn't look like anybody's actually roaming down here inside of Kitchen for the time being. It's actually kind of hard to tell, but I don't even believe that there is any roamers except for maybe some people inside of Aviator and Games. Yeah, it looks like those are going to be the only roamers for the time being, as they have full control to this first floor inside of Kitchen.
So one of the biggest things we're seeing right now is Paula bringing out that Nomad. It's going to be stopping anyone from trying to roam or trying to flank. But the question is, how useful is that going to be? Because it doesn't seem like they have anyone trying to go on any sort of flank or any late flank or anything like that. So we're going to see how useful it ends up being, trying to deter any sort of roamers. But I would imagine, given that where everyone is currently situated, we're not going to be seeing too much roaming coming out from Soniqs, at least not till way later in the round when a C4 might come out. 2 kills coming out for Soniqs. Nep and Goddess finding the 2 kills that we're going to be seeing here. They did take a little bit of damage, but that's not too much for them to handle.
Yeah, and God is still finding this angle onto the Astro stairs. This is worrisome for Paul. I'm not sure why he's still contesting that angle. He'll get ripped apart by that Alda and all 81 bullets that it carries, leaving this all up to PSK. And Moringa, a grenade's going to come flying through from PSK, but it will just miss its mark, as it looked like the Jaeger was possibly close to eating that, but he will not be taking any damage, as Moringa seems like he's just lying in wait for somebody to peek him on this upside down rappel, but they know exactly where PSK is on the Astro stairs. But There will be a smoke canister coming out from the Capitao. Just try to see if he can't stir up anything just yet. PSK's going to vault right over that ledge, but it's going to be Neptune's lying in wait. He'll take down 2 flawless rounds from the Susquehanna Soniqs, tying things up and putting us on to 4-4 here on Villa.
Now the question is this momentum? Is this poor play from Liquid, or is this just momentum from Soniqs? Because a flawless round you don't see that very often. So I'm surprised that that's what we're seeing. And again, defense, this is more of a defensive sided map, but Soniqs are starting to make this look like it's just another day at the field, just trying and just using all their strats to really close down these defenses. Now, Super did get that 1v3, but I mean, there's probably so much communication that went into winning that 1v3 that I'm sure it wasn't just all up to Super, but a flawless round. They went from a 1v3 to a flawless round. That's a fantastic job.
Yeah, a fantastic job indeed, and it looks like we will be going into a tactical pause here for Team Liquid, I would assume, as they did lose those last 2 rounds quite handily. So looking at the lineups here, it looks like we're going to be going down to Kitchen as well for the Sonics. So after winning those first 2 defenses, they have the choice of either going to Living and Library or to Kitchen and Dining Room, and it will be the Dining Room indeed, as it looks like we might be getting back into the game any second. As yes, it looks like we will. We'll be restarting that timer. Thank you so much to Gary for spectating this game for us. Make sure you guys go follow him, as well as my boy Josh here on Twitter, !Casters. You're going to find all of the links right there. So make sure you go give my boy Gary a nice follow, and my boy Josh a nice follow. Get them up in those followers. Come on now.
I think the biggest thing is just thank you to all the community not just the casters who are actually on the Rainbow Six channel, but to everyone involved with this. Because right now we have 4 observers for 4 different streams. You have you and I casting, we have Stokes casting, we had Sternav casting, Spartan was casting. We had so many people casting. I don't even remember every single name that's gone into this, but all the streams, just thank your casters. They've been doing a fantastic job, and everyone here has just been... These games have been some of the best Siege that we've seen in quite a while. It's not like these are blowout games. Most of these games has gone the distance with every single map. So this has just been fun Siege all around.
Definitely, and I know that we have we got some other games going on at the moment as well. I know that we have Rogue versus TSM, which it looks like Rogue did take map number 1 over TSM. So a nice map there from Rogue, as they look kind of rough early on. And on the main channel, we have Evil Geniuses facing off against Space Station Gaming. So a rematch between old friends and new enemies. As I believe there's also, that's going to round it out for the games going on at the moment. But we've got a matchup of our own here, and it looks like we're going to be seeing, again, round number 9 coming through. A deep roam here, actually, from Golfy. Is he actually going to be all the way downstairs in the basement on Villa? I don't really normally see a roam down there too often, but when you do, it can be quite influential on how a round will turn out.
I think the biggest thing to notice, too, is Nep was actually down there, too. So I think they're relying heavily on the fact that no one's going to be coming up from the basement, which is a very good play from the Sonics, because there are a bunch of staircases that go right into dining, or at least right next to it, and you can gain a lot of ground from holding those staircases correctly. But Liquid going to be pushing upstairs, a lot of soft floor upstairs, as this ledge on PSK is going to be just opening everything up. And Sexy Cake even has made some progress into the site as well, flashing himself. Oh no. And God is picking up the mistake of Sexy Cake. Unfortunate death from him. Super finds a kill of his own on a Moringa. 5v3 for Sonics right now. They're looking strong.
Yeah, Nesco finally going to trade out, trying to bring man count back into his team's favor. Rocking on that Finka for right now on that LMG. An interesting lineup, to say the least. But whatever floats your boat, we know that LATAM is definitely one of the more Finka favoring regions. We see them play Finka probably quite probably the most out of any of the regions, but doing a little bit of drone work here. He'll be able to spot out a few of these defenders and where they are positioned, but again, not much that they're going to be able to do, as they also have to go through these smokes. And while you are Finka boosted, that smoke does do, I believe it's like double damage, or it does a lot more damage while you are Finka boosted. So well played here from Goddess to be able to use these toxic babes to push off, to hold off that attack.
I think the biggest thing is too is the fact, look at their positioning right now. They are playing a little bit off site, but not too much to the point that they can't get back on, and that's going to make for some aggressive hold as we go in the last 20 seconds of this round. 3v4 kills start coming out. Slebin able to get the first kill onto this execute. Goddess is looking for a second. She's going to try to get Nesk, and she's able to down him and get him out. Goddess is trying to find the second, but Slebin actually taking out Nep and then PSK in the process. I guess you can call that a 2K in that situation, since, you know, 2 headshots. Wow, what a nice shot from Slebin. Unfortunate that the KD of the Pulse will be taken down just a little bit, but I don't think that they care, given that right now it's 5-4. 3 unanswered rounds now. Soniqs looking to hold down their defense more solid than they were holding down their attack.
You also might need to refresh your stream because you're a little bit behind mine. So I don't know if that's like something where we both have to refresh the stream, but I just want to let you know.
Okay.
I'll let you know if it doesn't fix itself or whatever. But either way, like you said, an excellent defense there from the Susquehanna Soniqs. I'm butchering that name. The Soniqs. They're going to be going now back over to the Aviator and Games Room, and they're going to be taking their first lead of this matchup here on Villa, which I will remind everybody that this was their map pick, so definitely expecting them to win this out, and then we will switch over to Bank, which was Liquid's map choice. So should be interesting to see how the rest of this map will go. If the Soniqs can close things out here, we'll just need 2 more rounds to do so. Or if we could see Liquid possibly go on a bit of a tear here and take map number 1 away from the Soniqs. Excuse me.
I think one of the biggest things right now is the fact that they weren't really able to do too much on the wall. Sure, Sexy Kid got that 1 wall open, but other than that, on Aviator and on Statue, he hasn't really been able to get the wall open, which honestly puts a lot of pressure on the side of the attackers to really start making some aggressive moves. And we haven't seen those aggressive moves really pay off so far. I'm curious to see how Soniqs able to adjust to this and not put Super in a 1v3 situation again. But we'll see how these roamers, Gomfy, and I believe that was Nep downstairs, just not letting, or Slebin, excuse me, holding downstairs right now. Do you see how that plays out?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, this room in the basement, like, or not in the basement, but downstairs, like you were saying, and it looks like Palu is aware of the possibility of an impact trick through the top of this wall, or even a nitro cell. But again, choosing to leave those floors unshotgunned is going to allow for, well, if they had a thermite, for them to be able to thermite that floor, but it looks like Sexy Cake is going to be bringing that Habana instead. So not really a need to shotgun out the floor entirely, because again, there's not the operator that you need to in order for that to be effective. But either way, the first kill of the round is going to go in favor of Moringa on that LMG on the Capital. Upside down on the rappel in this 90 window. A very strong angle here for Moringa.
And it's curious that they have Gomfy sitting downstairs. He doesn't have a C4, so I don't know exactly what his game plan is. They don't have cams besides maybe a bulletproof from Mute, or definitely the Evil Eyes from Goddess. It just depends where they put him. But Gomfy right now, he doesn't have a C4, so it's going to be interesting to see. He's going to have to rely on his gun skill to be able to get some kills onto this. And it looks like Moringa almost saw the head of Gomfy, but Gomfy able to do a bunch of damage to Moringa. And Moringa on looks like 5 HP right now.
Yeah, Moringa definitely very low. Goddess trying to hold off this 90 rappel for as long as possible, as the drones are going to start spotting out the Maestro, and it's going to force her to rotate back just a little bit further, as it's going to be Nesk actually to hold down the angle. So choosing to switch over here with his buddy, as it looks like Moringa is going to have to go over there for the actual site push with those smokes and those fire bolts. Sexy Cake is just going to open up a few more angles, possibly for Nesk to be able to look through.
I think the biggest thing right now is the fact that Moringa's on like 5 HP, so you can't have someone, you need that position to be held. And Nesk able to pick up a kill onto Goddess in a 3v4. Super follows it up with Gomfi, and it's just tacking on kills. Soniqs right here coming alive. Oh my god, what in the world just happened?
What?
Down to a 1v3 and Net closing it on out. What in the world has happened to Liquid? It looks like that half really just screwed them up.
I don't like that push should have just been fundamental there for Liquid, but it ultimately just didn't go in their favor. The gunfights just kept falling for Soniqs, and this is going to be like, I don't even understand what happened. Like, the kill feed was just all blue, followed by the orange, of course.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what their game plan was either, because it didn't even look like any smokes went down. Maybe the game plan was to sort of run in and try to plant, but no progress was really made onto the site, and kills just came out from Soniqs, and it was just too much for the Liquid to handle. Right now, match point, going on a trophy and statuary. Gonna see if Liquid's able to turn this around. Their attack on this just didn't go their way, and they just lost too many people too early. And it looks like Soniqs have finally woken up on this defense. So we'll see if there's a difference in the way they attack this, or if we're gonna see this go in Sonic's favor.
Honestly, I would assume that it's going to be going in favor of Soniqs, just because it looks like we're going to be seeing, again, going over to the statuary and the aviator room, and we're on match point right now for the Soniqs, and they've got all of the momentum on their side. Not winning a single attack has been Team Liquid. So I think the last Brazilian team still left in DreamHack, as FaZe was knocked out earlier today. So, or not just earlier today, but just a couple hours ago, by the Susquehanna Soniqs. So could the Soniqs be the team to not only eliminate one LATAM team, but two here at DreamHack Montreal?
I think that's the biggest question that we've had, and I believe that's all of LATAM's representation in this DreamHack, if I am correct. So that's what I was saying earlier. Over on Twitter, we were talking about it, and I was saying this has to be the revenge tour for LATAM. Liquid is their one chance for LATAM to make it farther, and right now, Liquid, it's not impossible. No. It's not impossible, but they need to not make mistakes right now because they lost that round. So right now, 6-4 match point. You only have so many mistakes you can make in a round before you end up losing that round. Yeah. And again, with this roam game coming out from Gomfi, it's going to make it a lot harder for this attack to be able to deal with their site execute. It's interesting, though. Gomfi doesn't have the nitro cell, so he's going on a deep roam with nothing to really deny plant if it does come down to that. So gonna have to hope that he's got some intel on site to try to shoot through the floor and see if he can't find an angle that way. But again, Leban's gonna get aggressive onto the classical hall on top of main stairs, and it'll be Nesk to fall while he just gets off his drone a second too late. But he will put Sleben onto about 1 HP, and he'll get finished off by PSK. But again, you lost your IQ for a bandit. I mean, not really too much that the IQ is going to be able to spot anyway, but I definitely think that trade goes in favor of the defense. I think one of the biggest things right now is that we still have Gomfi on this roam. Nep and Sleben actually switched on out. Nep on the Jaeger. This is definitely one of his favorite operators to use. We've seen him through Challenger League. We've seen him through the first half of Pro League. He does seem to favor that Jaeger, but I feel like it's just kind of rotating what the fragging ops are and what they play. But right now, Gomfi looking to hold down this middle stairs. Red stairs not going to be let up. I think that he's waiting for the call to come out from Super that there is some problem sitting at the top of red stairs. Paula sitting on low HP. Can they finish this out, or are we going to see the next map? Yeah, it looks like Paulo does know that the player is here, but that's actually going to be an air jab that's going to go off on the red stairs. That's going to alert them to Gomfi's position. Going to force him off, but it's going to be a double kill for the Soniqs, leaving it all up to Moringa now, as it's going to be a quick 3K from the Soniqs. Moringa will find one on the Neptunes, but he's going to have to find 3 more. Does he know where the last remaining defenders are playing
He doesn't have any more. He does still have utility to play with, but not enough time in order to use it. It's going to be Gomphy to shut things down on the first half here for the Soniqs, going up 1-0.
Oh my goodness. This is the upset that I don't think a lot of people wanted to see. It doesn't look like they're going to be letting up anytime soon either. But right now, that was Soniqs' pick. So you do normally expect that to go in Soniqs' favor. It almost didn't look like Soniqs were going to show up, but right at the end there in that second half, they did fantastic. Super actually top fragging on his team. Fantastic job from Super, especially with that 1v3 he had earlier. But I didn't even realize that that wasn't the quarterfinals match.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was a 2-0, like, of all things, too. Like, I don't think anybody expected that to happen. But either way, we have our own matchup to get to, Josh, and it is going to be now moving over to Bank. Again, I will remind you, if you do not know how to read an overlay, the Soniqs did take map numero uno on Villa, so that was a score of, what, 7-4, right? Am I right? Am I right, Josh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, and that was, I believe, 5 rounds in a row.
Yes.
On their defense. 5 rounds in a row.
Well, Liquid didn't win one attack.
Which is pretty crazy. So, Hibana Jackal ban coming out. And Soniqs actually banned out Hibana. Now, normally I would have said that's going to make a difference on the map. But the fact that Maverick has been in the Pro League now has just kind of not really made too much of a difference. And even the only problem is, though, the Thermite is usually used on server, so if the Thermite gets taken out too soon, Maverick can't do the same things that Hibana can. He's more of, sort of feels like a support role for the hard breachers than is an actual hard breacher, but he's a very, very versatile character to use, so we're going to have to see how they decide to use that on their attacks.
Yeah, I'm interested to as well. There are 2 standard bans for the defense here. It will be the Echo as well as the Mirror. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it'll be the Echo and the Mirror, and it looks like we'll see a 6-pick here over to a Valkyrie. I like that 6-pick because kind of shows that they might be going to that top floor with that Rook. But indeed, they're going to be missing out on an IQ, and they will be bringing a Valkyrie for a basement defense. So, again, map number 2 here, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for tuning in to all of the DreamHack Montreal streams, not only the main channel, but also all of us, the small little community casters, if you would, trying to get our name out there, trying to get some work in with the big time deal. So, again, it's me, it's Josh. Let's get right into things here on Bank.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, just to point out really quickly before we actually get started, thank you, Handsome, for observing
Yes,
this
yes.
matchup. I'm sure he would love to be casting this as well too, because this has been quite the matchup so far with Soniqs' new roster. Really more of a showcase for them than anything else.
Yeah, and Handsome's Twitter feed is in the !1 Casters link, so make sure you go follow everybody in there. Not only me, but Josh as well as Handsome. Handsome does some casting as well for Challenger League, I know, and some other things. So a very wide range of talent the man does have. So making our way into this round, though, 45 seconds have gone by, and it looks like we're still waiting for this roam clear. You'll normally see this. You'll see somebody posted up on the top of the main steps and just waiting for a rotate to possibly come through, but it doesn't look like anybody from the Soniqs is going to give that free pick away to Comfy. No, unfortunately, he shot out the entire wall instead of just leaving the bolt hole there.
Yeah, that was kind of unfortunate because that would have been a pretty crazy angle to hold, but I think overall, I don't know how much of an effect that will actually have on the round, especially since most people kind of expect you to peek that, so not too sneaky, but we're gonna see how they decide to attack this. There's a minute 20 down right now. Not too sure how much progress they've made with that Maverick Thermite combo. Doesn't look like they're even pushing into Garage, which is typical, especially given the fact that Slevin is playing inside of Garage on his Maestro Camps, not going to let that up at all. It looks like they're actually opening the hatches now, which is a fantastic job, but there is almost 2 minutes gone now.
You see, now it looks like that was probably one of the most efficient Mavericks onto a hatch that I have ever seen. It looked like he still had 3 canisters left, or maybe like 2 and then some. But either way, that's definitely one of the more efficient uses of Maverick that I have ever seen. So very big props to Sexy Cake, as he's one of the more solid support players out in Pro League at the moment.
And right now, they're putting a lot of pressure onto this take, and I don't know if Soniqs is going to be ready for this to execute as it all goes down. Hopefully the smoke of Super is able to hold off the attack, because 35 seconds left. They didn't leave themselves with a lot of time just quite yet. They're going to have to worry about it. First smoke going off. Actually, Slevin getting a great pick onto PSK, trying to plant. Somehow Gompy lost a lot of HP. My guess is that the fireballs coming out from Capital made a difference.
Yeah, about 15 seconds left in the round now, when it's going to be an all-out brawl. As it's going to be Sexy Cake, he finds 2. He rushes right in through red. He'll find another one possibly under the pulse, but no, Neptunes actually takes down one on the Palu before getting traded out. It's now a 2v2 now, as it's Sexy Cake. He's trying to cover this plant with a 4K on the round. He's looking for the ace, but with the reload happening, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to find it, but it's a post-plant situation here for Super on about 1 HP. Trying to win this out, but it's an ace for Sexy Cake. Flying in through the site with about 15 seconds left. He'll find all 5 kills. What a round from the Maverick.
Wow. Efficient Maverick tricking and efficient Maverick killing.
Yeah.
No one else on Liquid wanted to get a kill anyways. Don't leave anything for anyone else. Thanks, Sexy Cake. No, but in all seriousness, fantastic job. That was a very risky play, but it paid off in the end, and he was able to capitalize on all of the kills. Unfortunately, Super ran out of bullets at the same time Sexy Cake did, so it was a very unfortunate situation for Soniqs, but Liquid coming out on top.
Yeah, I apologize there, chat, for like the screen. I just needed to refresh the feed because it seems like me and Josh are a little bit out of sync. So if you want to go ahead and refresh your stream too, Josh, it might make us, because it seems like you were like 10 seconds behind me or something like that. But I just want to make sure that we are both in sync here, as that's the most important thing. We want to make sure that you and I are on the same page. You know, we gotta have that team synergy. You know, just like we're seeing out here on the battlefield.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing too, is I feel like Liquid really efficient. I was kind of scared for a moment though, because they kind of ran out of time, but luckily Sexy Cake was able to get those kills, but they really did run out of time. Just 45 seconds just trying to get the plant down. Didn't clear out Garage. Smoke wasn't dead yet. He just used a smoke canister when PSK got killed. So great job from Sexy Cake, but Liquid's got to do a little bit better job at roam clearing and just efficiency in general, because they almost lost that just due to the amount of time that they took dealing with everything else.
Yeah, exactly. Just not the best time management in the world, but either way, we're going to be seeing that first round go in favor of the attack, even without their lack of time management. But again, it seems like we're going to be seeing the basement defense come out again from the Soniqs, as they're going to be looking to try to attack on their first round here on Bank. Again, this is Liquid's map pick. Oh, so definitely looking for them to try to take this one in their favor, but it should be interesting no matter what, as we're going to be seeing Sexy Cake. He's again going to be going for the Maverick onto the hatch, and that's going to force the smoke and the Valkyrie to retreat back into red, and that's going to give up server control completely to Team Liquid.
I think the biggest thing to point out also is the fact that they had already gotten inside, done the roam clearing, and now it's a minute 30 left. So this is a little bit more efficient than last time. They do need to make sure that they get these hatches open in time as well as get the server wall open, but I don't think it looks like they'll have a problem with that. But it is 5v5 right now with a minute 30 down.
Wow.
So we might see a flurry of kills come out again from either side. It just really depends on how this round plays out.
Sexy Cake has to be the best Maverick that I have ever seen. He just used a full torch to open up 2 hatches. So he was successfully able to open up both of those hatches with all of his breaching torch, which is that's not something I've ever been able to do, and that's honestly something that I don't see a lot of professional teams able to do. So Sexy Cake 100% has that Maverick down to a T. As we're gonna start to get into the flurry of kills now, as Paulo gonna find one onto Slevin and Gomfy gonna come down. So the 2 players that just recently switched over from Europe are going to be the first ones to fall in this round. Paulo will take another one on the Super as the Nitro comes flying through from Neptunes. It'll shut down that plant from PSK. But 20 seconds left. It looks like the plant's going to start to get stuck yet again by Paulo. That's going to leave this all up to Neptunes and Goddess here. But the push-up comes up, but it's actually going to find the down as he's actually going to go for the pickup. Goddess trying to rotate upstairs, but it's Sexy Cake to shut that down. The second round going on the board for Team Liquid.
That's a very interesting play coming out from the Soniqs that sort of turtle in and not really have anyone trying to flank up. It was a little too late trying to push Goddess up through that elevator staircase and try to get her go on that flank. The execute was already pretty much happening. Probably want to do that a little bit sooner, but I don't think that they had too many options given that they were so claustrophobic, sitting all down there inside lockers and CCTV and servers. And the biggest thing to me is the fact that they almost got that. Like, I think if Goddess was able to pick up the kill on a Sexy Cake, we probably would have seen a different round because she would have had hatch controllers, no one else up there. But Sexy Cake not letting go of his control and able to pick up a kill on the Goddess and close out that round.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see Goddess not on Maestro and on a Jaeger, like on a fragging roll. So kind of switching up the roles here on the Soniqs. Kind of curious as to why they would be choosing to do that at this point in time, but either way, they're going to be switching up the bomb site, so it's not going to really matter. We'll see Goddess go back over to a supporting role, and she'll be on that mute, so it will be Archives and Visa for the second bomb site from the Soniqs.
I think one of the biggest things that I actually just noticed right now too is the fact that they're not playing the mind games as much as they were on the first map. Soniqs is, I feel like you should show the castle when you know you're going to go down lockers, because if you're already going to go down lockers, just show the castle so they think you're going upstairs. You saw Sexy Cake as soon as he saw the castle. Sexy Cake switched off the Maverick onto the Zofia. So you kind of play that mental game, and they maybe don't get hatches open because they don't have that Maverick. Now, I'm sure there's probably more analysis into that from the coach, but you got to wonder if there's maybe a little bit more mind games you could be playing, especially if you don't end up using that 6th pick. The castle is a very good indicator you're going to either be going that first floor or the top floor. A lot of teams like to use them, but they don't use them on that bottom basement defense.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with you. You've got the 6th pick. Why not use it? At least try to, if you're not going to throw your enemy off, at least try to throw a little bit of shade in the bucket or a little bit of turmoil into the water, just to try to see if you can't confuse your opponent whatsoever. But looks like that's going to be Gomfy, who will catch one drone, straight shot 2, and that's going to be a peek out actually from the stock trading room. It looked like that was Gomfy trying to get very aggressive, as it's going to be a very heavy top floor hold here for an Archives defense, but Super lands the Nitro Cell perfectly on the nest. You can't drone their nest while there's a pulse on the board. Super playing that perfectly will take down that sledge as Slevin tacks on another one onto Sexy Cake. So those are the 2. Oh, Slevin gets 3! They all line up. How does he find the angles? It's all left up to PSK now. The Heart Breacher stuck outside of the ATM doorway. What just happened on the top floor?
I think the long angle with the CEO wall open, that happened. Also,
Slebin on an Alda just happened.
Yeah, Slebin on an Alda definitely just happened right there, and it's left to a lonesome PSK. I'm not sure what exactly the call was or if they just all happened to line up in that angle. We didn't exactly see what happened, but I would imagine that they weren't all trying to push him at once. But Slebin, oh, he is able to pick up the last kill of the round. That's a 4K on the round, flawless round for Soniqs. Also, fantastic job to Slebin. I think he made all the difference on that round.
I mean, the man got a 4K, so I definitely think he did. He had a little bit of an impact on that round. Obviously, the first kill there from Super, nice kill with the Nitro Cell, but upstairs with that, all the triple headshot for the man himself, the Slebin superpower coming straight over from Europe. I honestly, I think that these bringing over Slebin and Gonfi has really changed the Soniqs for the better, and I think we're seeing it right now. They're in quarters. They took it to a powerhouse team in FaZe in their last matchup, and now they're really showing out against Team Liquid as well, another powerhouse from LATAM.
Another thing to point out, actually, is that they showed that Castle Nep, and Sexy Kick just stuck the Maverick because they showed Gonfi, I believe, was pulsed. So I'm curious to see how they use the Maverick going onto the CEO attack. He's pretty useful. Regardless, I think, of any site you put him on, he's useful because he pokes holes. But you got to rely on PSK to try to get that wall open. But you got to worry about maybe Super or someone trying to roam below. But it looks like Super actually switched off from any C4s he might possibly have over to a smoke. I think the biggest thing that I've noticed throughout this tournament with the Soniqs is the amount of flexibility every single person has. It just seems like, look, Goddess is currently playing Jaeger right now.
Yes.
In what other world do we normally see that? It's that flexibility that we've been seeing, and it's kind of hard to counter because obviously every player has a different play style, especially on operators that you might expect one player to play, but they just keep switching on and off, and I think that's been affecting how this defense has been progressing both on this map and the last map, and that it's just been fantastic to see how Soniqs has sort of adjusted with their new two players.
I agree. I definitely think that bringing on these two new power superstars has, I mean, it's allowed for the already existing players on the Soniqs to flex off, kind of venture out a little bit. You don't need to see Goddess on that Maestro every single round. She has the ability to run Jaeger and Neptunes. Are you going to go for the jump out? It looks like you will, and he will find the kill onto Moringa. That's going to be the Capitao taken off the board, but now Neptune stuck on an island is going to have to deal with the remaining players. It goes for the pre-fires here on to the player outside ATMs, but will he be able to find the shot? It looks like that's going to be the Maverick. He pulls out the pistol, but Sexy Kick will shut it down. A nice waste of time and a nice pick there from Neptunes to take out the Capitao.
One of the biggest things that we're going to be seeing now that Capitao is down, there are no smokes, which is pretty much crucial if you want to try and attack this site. And another thing that we've noticed is they gave Slebin that long angle again. You see how that CEO wall is open? You're going to be unable to try to get in from that skylight double doorway up top. You're going to have to try and go up the stairs, and it looks exactly what they're going to be doing right now. Nesk actually going below, possibly going to try to find a frag grenade kill from the bottom. We're going to see how that decides to play out. But Slebin, he's going to hold this long angle, and we're going to see what exactly he's able to do with this again.
Yeah, Slebin taking a little bit of damage there. It's a good thing he has his buddy in Gonfi there to be able to stim himself back up to full, and even then some. As we reach about the 50-second mark, still trying to make their push in from square at even man count. They have to make this attack happen at some point without any smokes to cover the plant or the push in. It's going to be very tricky here for Liquid to try to time this out. Only 30 seconds left, and still gas canisters coming in from the smoke of Super.
Another thing to point out, that little knockdown library case, or whatever you want to call it, that actually can be shot through. So that's going to be proved to be a problem if that's their plan of attack, and that's where they want to plant. You do see the execute is starting to come on out. Actually, flurry of kills are starting to come on out with Goddess and Slebin tacking on one, and Goddess able to pick up a second. She actually down one, and that's going to be a closeout with Super finding the last kill on the Sexy Cake, trading Gonfi out. What a fantastic job from Soniqs. I really do think that taking out that Capital made all the difference on that round.
I mean, you saw it. You saw when the thermite of who was it? PSK? Yeah, I think it was PSK. Tried to walk in through the main wall, but he was shut down from the long angle that Slebin, or was it Slebin or Gonfi on the? No, it was Slebin on the Maestro. Yeah, that Slebin was holding, and then Goddess was able to tack on one as well, and then there was no cover for the player in behind that turned over bookshelf for the cover when Goddess peeked wide and took him out as well. So Goddess really proving it that she is the Jaeger main. She said, screw Maestro. I'm going to let Slebin keep frying out on that. And I'm going to go over to my favorite German.
I honestly feel like they just gave Slebin the Maestro because they needed... He probably just wanted to play the ACOG, you know what I mean? But they also needed the Jaeger. So I feel like Goddess and him were like, sure, let's just switch operators. It doesn't matter. And I feel like that has been, for whatever reason, just the move. That has been the proper thing to do. And we're going to see how they hold this downstairs one more time because they haven't been doing too good on the way that they've been holding lockers and CCTV. But I imagine you try to make an adjustment somewhere and maybe just putting Slebin on the Maestro and Goddess on the Jaeger might prove to be the move that you needed.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb.
It definitely seems like that for sure. And as we reach into our 5th round here, tied at 2 apiece, is going to be possibly the 3rd defense in a row that the Soniqs could possibly take. But this has been the site that they've struggled on the most. They've lost it twice, only winning their 2, technical offsites here on Bank. So if history is going to repeat itself, we'll be seeing Liquid taking this map, or this site, again.
I think the biggest thing for me, though, is that you have to make adjustments. I mean, in Soniqs, a lot of the players on that team are very smart. So you're seeing Super sitting on this blue staircase. You had Nep actually sitting in server, and you had, I believe that was Gonfi holding an angle onto server. So I think they understand where the push might be coming from this time around. It's pretty hard to take Slebin inside that garage with the ACOG on Maestro. So you got to wonder what the attack is going to start looking like. I think that we might see the same issue they had last time where it's not efficient, their attack, and it might end up coming down to the last couple of seconds again. That's what it's looking like so far, at least.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that indeed, as have Super holding tight onto these server stairs, just waiting for the rotate to come down through. But a lot of angles, patient angles, being held by Liquid as their utility operators start to open up some of these hatches, start to open up some of these lines of sight, just making sure that none of them can be flanked. This is the discipline that we see coming out from a veteran team. They know how to play the angles, and they know how to play time to their advantage, not needing to waste anything on allowing their utility to go without its use. And again, we see the man himself, Sexy Cake, just destroying any hatch in sight. And I just can't believe that he's able to open up 2 hatches with those torches.
So that actually is one of those things that does take a long time to learn, but another thing to point out is that Susquehanna actually didn't see that Valk cam that was right there on the table next to the open hatch, but Execute's going to be coming on out right now, and I don't think he really cares too much if there's Valk cam there or not. Going to see how they decide to use this Capital Bolt on Moringa. Sexy Cake opening it on up to Goddess, and they're going to be seeing a first kill of the round with 30 seconds left. And it looks like Gonfi is able to come up the stairs and try to gain some ground. Gonfi finding a second kill onto the round. They lost hatch control, but he actually gets traded out by Nesk. What an insane amount of kills that are coming out right now. Paula finding one onto Slebin. Smoke grenade still a factor in this. It's down to a 2v3 right now with Super trying to push on up. They're not going to let go of this hatch control with 10 seconds left. Nep has to make a push, or Super has to get some sort of control into this with the plant going down. It's a 1v3 with a lonely Super getting taken out by Nesk. It looks so good for Soniqs up until Gonfi died.
Gonfi able to make that rotate up to the 3rd floor without any sort of punishment from Liquid. Like you said, it looked like that was going to be the changing factor for the Soniqs in that round, but after Gonfi got traded, it kind of fell apart for everybody on site. Nobody could really hold on to those angles, so we're going to be seeing them go back to the Teller's Archives. Makes a little bit more sense, as that was the first site that they were able to win successfully, and obviously they want to try to make this a tied contest going into the second half.
Honestly, 3-3 scoreline really isn't bad, but Liquid's trying to make it so that it's not 3-3. They want that 4-2 defense. Honestly, every single site on this map, I believe, is pretty even across most regions and most of Pro League, as we've seen. And it seems like Lockers and CCTV has been harder and harder to hold, especially with the addition of Maverick. And you can really only ban out one hard breacher. So that got rid of Hibana, but it's Maverick still playing a key role on this attack every single round.
Taking a quick look at the scoreboard there as well. Looking at a pretty even contest coming out from the side of the Soniqs, but he did take a look at Liquid. Saxy Cake really popping off right now with those 9 frags, so definitely a big props to the support man himself, playing mostly that Maverick and the smoke in the last map. But we're gonna be, oh no, what happened? What happened? Is it stopped for you too?
Yep.
As we will be getting our way right back into bank. Yeah. Refresh. Oh shit. That's kind of bad timing for me. I think we should be good. Because you're a little bit behind me, so I kind of paused it a little bit, but we'll see. Yeah, because I don't want to I don't want to show the link, because there's a lot of snakes out in the chat right now, and I know you guys are just gonna yoink that up, and you're gonna watch that instead of watching our beautiful voices. So either way, we're gonna be looking at the at round number 6. So the final round of the half here for these teams. And I mean, honestly, this is the first defense that the Soniqs were able to successfully win. Of course, it was due to some miraculous plays by Slebin on that top floor, and likely going to be seeing him go back to that same position once again.
I would imagine you maybe do you put him up there again though? That's the question, because Liquid's got to see through it this time around. You can't be too predictable when you're playing on these sites, especially against a formidable team like Liquid. Right now, though, I think 3-3 scoreline, you'd probably be fine with that. I think that they'd be okay with that also. It's probably the most ideal situation going into the second half, given the fact that they are down 2-3. And we will be going to the next half after this round, so it's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out.
Yeah, agreed. And with the lineup set up, it looks like we're going to be seeing a possible main lobby attack here from Team Liquid, as they could also try to take control of this top floor. But again, they're going to have to deal with Slebin, as well as he's going to try to peek here onto that player on the West Rappel, but not able to find any heads just yet, as he'll fall off of that and try to hold something else. It might even go onto his Maestro camera here in a second.
I think the biggest thing is that Slebin really doesn't have like a safe way out. Unless he can somehow escape through elevator, there's no other way out. There's nothing he can really do to get out of there. Gomfi is up there to assist him, but it's going to come up to him. Actually, Slebin getting taken down. That's going to be unfortunate. Ness getting a first kill onto the round.
Yeah, so that's a nice kill there for Sir Ness, because he might even rotate up and take down Gomfi as well. Moringa will take down Goddess on that mute. So already looking like a much better round here for Team Liquid, not having to deal with that Alda upstairs and being able to do a little bit of reconstruction of their own. But I'm not sure that they're aware that Gomfi's actually rotated back down the square stairs, and Nitro Cell will come flying through, but actually picked back up as Neptunes hits the shot through the floor onto Palu, expecting that movement, seeing him pass through the open holes. What a shot coming out from the castle.
Wow. I can't even, especially with the ump of all guns. The UMP really just showing its colors as it's better than you think it is. It's not the world's best gun in the game, but it's not the worst gun in the game either. Super on this pulse has proved to be a problem, especially since they don't have an IQ at all. They don't have any way of finding him. They're not doing the proper drone work. They're not going to be able to get him taken down in time. There is 50 seconds left. It is a 3v4 man count, so it's looking like it's going to be, in terms of man count, it's going to be Liquid in the driver's seat right now, but it's all going to come down to the site execute.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait to see. Got only 40 seconds left for this execute to come out, and Gomphy playing it passively on the stairs as the Nitrozone comes flying through, but it will just miss its target as Neptune seems to be lit up through that floor, as he'll finally get taken down by Moringa. But the peek out coming out there from the pulse is going to deal a lot of damage there to Moringa, but not too much there to where he'll be in too much of uncomfort. But again, 15 seconds left. The plant's going to have to come down. I'm not sure if there's a Nitro Cell, but it's not even going to matter as Super's taken down. But Gomphy coming out from nowhere will take down Moringa, but get traded out by Sexy Cake. So we'll end the half at a 4-2, quite similar to Villa.
Now the question is, though, are we going to see the same thing happen where they take all these rounds in a row on their second half? Is Soniqs going to do that? Or do you think that Liquid's going to be able to close this on out? Because it's going to come down to how efficiently you can clear out the rest of the map, because they are going down a locker CCTV. This site really honestly has been played out so much that there's not too many variations that people haven't seen. So we're going to see if they do anything different, anything new. I'm not too sure if we're really going to see anything new, but I'm curious to see how Liquid's going to hold this compared to how Soniqs was able to do so.
Attackers need to locate and
I agree, and it looks like we're going to be coming out with a Legion this time around. So Palu will be bringing that operator, and instead of the Pulse, which was being brought by the Soniqs, and it should be interesting to see how well this is going to be playing out here. Possibly using it to hold a vertical pressure here. As we'll see next. He'll be going on to that operator, which basically made the man famous, I'd say, over on Consulate, was when I believe that we first kind of ran into Nesk. I don't know what event it was. I want to say it was the 6 Invitational, but I'm not sure. But all I remember is that Nesk had probably some of the nuttiest cameras on Consulate that have been seen in quite some time, and I know that that was one of the reasons that we see Valkyrie bans quite often against him.
I think the biggest thing is, too, is you don't really want to have to worry about playing with that IQ either. I mean, the IQ is really useful to get those Echo drones as well as the Valkyrie cams, so they're not playing with an IQ right now, so we're going to see how Moringa and Nesk are able to use that intel to their advantage. It looks like actually playing a pretty aggressive hold upstairs, even reinforcing the teller's wall. We don't usually see that too often, so I'm curious to see how this defense is going to play out.
Yeah, it's quite often. We're seeing Sexy Cake playing his typical spot here inside of server/blue stairs. Again, with that smoke shotgun, that M590. Trying to see if he can't hold on any push from the dirt, but it seems like there's going to be a few Q mines going to be going off up top. That's going to be Gomphy that's going to eat the first of those, and still have Palu roaming up top as PSK as well will take down Neptune. So this dual roam dealing quite the damage quite early on, as about half the round is out, and Super is actually taking down Gomphy as well, so doing a little bit of the work for the defense here, as only about half the round left remaining, and you have yet to take care of those roamers inside of open area.
I think the biggest thing is, too, is look who he just took out. He didn't just take out, like, an entry frag or anything like that. He took out his Maverick, as Nesk is able to pick up 2 kills in a 1v5, and Paula closing it out on the Super. Super able to take out his teammate for Liquid, and they didn't have to worry about Maverick getting any of the hatches anytime soon, so unfortunate situation for Soniqs, but fantastic pickup from Liquid.
A fantastic pickup indeed, and again, we see Nesk just frying out on that top floor with the Valkyrie. The man is cracked, and looking to see how the second site is going to be coming out. Looks like they're going to be going up to the top floor. CEO and executive. Bringing in those ACOGs definitely going to be helping, as we'll see Super. He'll 6-pick off of the Lion and over to an IQ. And that's definitely a smart decision, as you see the Valkyrie on the board for the defense, but it seems as though we have lost connection to the clean feed yet again. So excuse us, I guess, for a minute, as
I would double check, just refresh it real quick, because mine's still up.
yours is still up.
Yeah, it might have just, if you have the other streams open, turn those on, because
Oh,
it causes weird delays. Just let me know when you refresh.
I refreshed.
Right.
ATS active in this sector.
Cam in position.
So that should be good.
Yeah,
10
no, you're
seconds
good.
left
It
before
wasn't down. Just
All right. Wow, that was
for you personally.
yeah, that was just a me
That happened
problem.
earlier. Yep. But heading on into this round, 5-2 score line with Liquid, looking to be pretty strong right now. I would imagine that. What do you think they're gonna bring differently than Soniqs brought? Honestly, Soniqs' hold on this site was fantastic. I wonder if we're gonna see any crazy jump outs from PSK or possibly Nest, given the fact that they have the Moringa on Maestro and the Valkyrie cams. Super did switch over to IQ, so that's a great switch and a great read into the defense. Let's see how much of an effect that really has on the outcome of this round.
Yeah, it should definitely be interesting here, as we're going to start to make our attack happen. So it's the top floor, like we've been talking about. And again, we've got Nesk on the Valkyrie. I want to know where these cameras are. Come on now, Mr. Handsome. I need to see where these Valkyrie cameras are, so that way I can start playing them in ranked. So we won't be able to see where those cameras are just yet, as oh my god, it seems like we're going to be seeing Gomfy here trying to contest with the Valkyrie inside of the main lobby. Nesk will spot out that camera, go for a few free fires onto the Zofia, but no shots will land from anybody just yet. It's actually Palu who's going to take the fight onto that Capitao on the main rappel, as Gomfy has got a second drone positioned here to try to hold that off. So dealing a lot of damage here is going to be the defense, as Sexy Cake punches back, takes down Goddess, and there's still going to be Gomfy inside of the main lobby here, dealing a lot of work, as he'll actually be downed out. Nesk will be forced to push up and confirm the kill, as it's going to be Paulu to finally find the frag onto Sleben on that north rappel, leaving us in a 2v5 for Neptunes and Super.
That was a very unfortunate clear coming out from Soniqs, and not too sure how Goddess died with the thermite, but they're not going to be getting this wall at all now, given the fact that they just lost their only hard breach. Of Super taking a little bit of damage, nothing too crazy. He's trying to just peek out through. It actually looks like they did get that wall open. We didn't see that, unfortunately, in the observer, but we know it now. And 1v5 situation, and oh my god, Nep, where in the world did that just come from?
You're a little bit behind me again.
Okay.
But that's going to be Sexy Cake. He'll clean things up on the round with that punch hole through the stock entrance. And that's going to be pushing us over to round 9. And I believe it's match point. And yes, it is for Team Liquid. So this map going a lot differently in the hands of Liquid than we did on map number 1. Definitely the Liquid that I think we all expected to see. Aggressive plays, really working out. Well coordinated, as we saw with Nesk, as well as Paula inside of the main lobby, taking 2 gunfights and covering each other's backs at the same time. But yeah,
I think one of the biggest things that we'll need to see is the fact that
Attackers need to
Gomfy
locate and defuse
needs
as
to
many
kind of
bombs
show
as
up
they
a
can.
little bit more. Super also needs to not TK. But one of the biggest things is they're relying on these entries to try and get in and try to get some open picks. And when you start losing people super early, especially on main lobby clear, you're not going to be able to have any effect on the round, especially given the fact that they lost someone on rappel, they lost one in main lobby, and no one was able to refrag that, unfortunately.
Exactly. And you got to be able to trade out those kills. Excuse me. Oh my, I'm sorry. I wish there was an easier way to mute my mic, but there just isn't. But either way, it looks like we're going to be seeing, again, a top floor defense, so to say, for the Teller's Archives site. So definitely wanting to put an emphasis on this vertical pressure will be Team Liquid. So it should be interesting to see how well they play this. But no, it actually might just be a rushing through the hallway, as it's going to be Moringa. He'll find 2 before they're getting traded out by Goddess, and PSK will tack onto 1 as well. PSK finds 2 actually, as it's all left up to Super inside of the main lobby. Will he be able to find even 1 frag? But no, Sexy Cake from downtown slaps down the IQ on such little HP. What a round that was.
This is the 3rd map on Cafe. Reminder, Liquid beat G2 7-0. Soniqs is a very formidable team on Cafe. This is probably going to go the distance. I would imagine this is going to be a way closer game than these last 2 maps we've been watching. So I would definitely stay tuned.
I would definitely up here any second, just checking to make sure that everything is okay before we start back up and make our way over to Cafe Dostoevsky for our final map of the evening for me and my new friend Josh. Josh, are you ready for this?
I have never been more ready. This has been quite the match so far. We saw 5 rounds in a row go in Sonic's favor, and then they closed it out that way. And then we just saw a dominant performance from Liquid on Bank. Now, they did win their own map picks, but Cafe is their decider. Both teams very notable on this map. Very strong teams, indeed. And the problem is going to be there can only be one person who can win.
Yes.
There can only be one person who moves on. Will it be the only LATAM team that is currently in this tournament? Or will we attack on another NA team to make it on through? That is the question for this matchup.
You want to know what I'm happy about from this DreamHack? Is that we have more NA teams. Listen to me right now. We have more NA teams than EU teams inside of the DreamHack. So I just want to say, G2, you're not here. Empire, you didn't even show up. You were too scared to come. This is NA's. This is NA's major right now. This is NA's major. So we're looking to see one of the sole NA winners in quite some time, actually. So I'm happy. I'm happy for that.
Can't call it too soon, though, because
True.
we do have BDS playing against DZ right now, and then we also have this match. So there's a very good possibility that NA could get knocked out going into the finals, but going into the semis, there's at least one team that'll make it. Or at least 2, excuse me, that'll make it. So you're guaranteed that if you're an NA fan. But I mean, it's going to be interesting to just see how this plays out.
Captain Africa, you obviously don't understand like what I'm getting at, so I apologize. But either way, it's gonna be defense first here for Liquid, and we've seen how defensive sided this map can be in the past. So definitely looking to see Liquid try to take this map, or at least this half, with the defensive side. So I guess Team Liquid, since they were the ones that won more rounds, they get to decide the starting side for this map. And yeah.
Heading on over to defense, though. Defense, there's not too much information on this map. Still has been sort of played out, but there hasn't been too much information in terms of being able to figure out the actual bomb site, whether it's attacker-sided or defender-sided. We do need a little bit more information for that, but I think overall we've kind of seen it go 50-50. There hasn't really been one favoring side. It seems like the top floor goes a little bit more defender-sided because it relies on the attackers to gain control of that piano and that cigar balcony, but the other sides kind of go half and half.
Yeah, definitely always interesting to see how this map plays out, as it looks like the Twitch drone was able to take down one of those mute jammers, possibly from Paulo, but I'm not sure if it's actually still remaining. No, it actually looks like it's on the other side of the wall, so not going to be able to hear or take that out just yet, as it's being protected by the impenetrable wall. But either way, it's going to be interesting here. It looks like Neptune's is trying to find the Kaid on this wall, as he's trying to open up some sort of angle here for his Thermite to be able to open up the main wall. As we reach about halfway through the round, not a lot has happened as of yet. Nesk will find the first frag though onto Super. That's going to be the sledge taken out. Only really Piano is in control of the Soniqs thus far.
I think the biggest thing right now is Gomfy has to watch her flank, because right now it's very possible that someone could run out of bathroom or even just White Hallway in general and get Goddess off of this breach probably. And right now there's no way for them to get those mutes and bandits, or I believe that's a Kaid Electroclaw on the wall. There's no way for them to really get it off because they didn't bring a Thatcher. You maybe could have the Twitch do it, but you would be risking a lot of that drone, a lot of intel trying to do so. There also is 2 ADSs in bathroom, so nading him out, it's not going to be the most possible thing that you can do. Gonna see how they switch this up. There is 35 seconds left, so we're gonna have to see how this decides to play out. It looks like Goddess is gonna be pushing on in.
Yeah, but all of this bar has been opened up, and as the frags start to go in favor of Team Liquid, it's going to be all up to Gomfy, but no, it'll be a flawless round here for Team Liquid as they shut things down. They shut the door on that first round attack, as Paulo, what a shot there on the mute.
I'm curious, the Twitch was a curious choice to me. I think I would have personally brought that Thatcher. Did you see how much gadgetry was in that bathroom and freezer area?
Yes.
That would have been destroyed
The Thatcher's banned
by a Thatcher. Oh, the Thatcher is banned. I didn't see the band. Excuse me. Sorry
No,
about
all
that.
good, all
That makes
good.
a lot more sense.
Yes. It's just interesting that without the Thatcher, that was banned by Liquid. And we saw Liquid, I believe, the Thatcher was banned also on Villa as well. And that map ended up going in favor of the Soniqs. So it should be interesting to see how, again, without a Thatcher, both of these teams are going to be able to adapt. Because you don't often see a Thatcher ban, but you do see it a lot. I believe LATAM is quite known for banning the Thatcher, but it makes your attacks just a lot more slower and a lot more methodical.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing too, because if you think about it, Thatcher really does get rid of a lot. Pretty much everything that you're seeing on the defensive side, minus the Echo Drone, gets destroyed by a Thatcher EMP grenade. So this the Echo Drone does get disabled, but doesn't actually get destroyed. So you do have to kind of worry about that. So it's a very smart play to be able to ban that Thatcher. But we're going to see how this kind of affects the rest of the rounds, because it seemed like it made all the difference. Nep is now currently on the Maverick, so maybe we'll be able to see some sort of difference coming out from the Maverick.
Yeah, hopefully that Maverick is going to be a little bit more of an impact here on the round, as it looks like they're already getting aggressive here inside of Bakery, taking this fight to the defense, as again, the exothermic charge is going to start to open up here onto the prep room, and that's going to be Moringa here as Sleben on that upside down rappel on the Bakery door. Going to be able to hold that long angle in behind the doubled window inside of the prep room.
This Maverick's going to be coming on out, going to be trying to just burn a hole in through, trying to find that Kaid Electroclaw right now. I don't know if they're going to be able to get it just at that angle. You see that red bar at the top of the reinforcement. There, Zofia charge is coming on out, but I don't believe a push is coming through. We're going to have to see if they're able to get this wall open, or if they're just going to stall out on this Bakery attack. It looked like they were actually able to do so.
What?
I believe that they got part of that wall open.
Honestly, I'm not sure. And either way, I'm not really too sure how he got that impact through there. I think that the Maverick might have opened a hole for him. I think that's what happened. Honestly, I'm not really too sure why the Maverick would do that. Is that just easily allows for Moringa to impact trick that. So a great heads up play there from the smoke to be able to take that down. And it's going to leave this to Maverick to try to open up the hole. But it's Moringa to shut down Goddess as he's caught on the wrong side of those angles. And it's Slebin to try to get the trade out onto Sexy Kick, leaving us with about a minute left in the round, stuck in a 4v4.
Yeah, I think what happened was he's trying to use that Maverick hole to get the Kaid off the wall, that electrical off the wall, and it ended up working against him when Goddess was trying to put that thermite charge down. And great heads up play, like you said. That impact trick really probably changed the outcome of this round, but we'll have to see as we see Gompy pushing on into Bakery. Paula able to pick up a kill on the Sleb, and that's one entry gone. That's looks like the IQ is actually gone now too, with Super falling down to Nesk. We're going to see how the rest of this round plays out.
Yeah, it's a cool, nice shot there from Neptunes as it's going to fly into sight. They know that they have the control, but no, they actually don't. It's Moringa there to shut down both as they don't clear out the smoke. He just plays the angle the entire round. What a play there on the smoke. I don't even know how he hit that second shot, but it doesn't matter. He did. And now we're going to be going on to round number 3, 2-0 in favor of Team Liquid.
I think the biggest thing to me was that they shut down that push on into Bakery. They weren't able to get the wall open. Goddess got killed. That impact trick came out, and that was the biggest factor in how that round played out. And they just had to push on in to try to get frags, but it was too little too late as you keep losing more men into as the round goes on.
Hold on, I just need to figure something out.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
I have
as
0
many
mods
bombs
in
as
my
they
stream
can.
right now.
Anyways, heading on over, we're going to be seeing the second floor hold. This is going to be the third defense, and they're going to see that rotation go back around. If they end up winning or losing this, the top floor will open up, so you will have the opportunity to go upstairs or possibly go onto the engine and dining room site instead of this library and dining room site that they've chosen. Looks like a peak might actually even come out too. They're opening up 2 windows, either Valcam or peak or both, possibly coming out. They have been playing pretty aggressive in this map, so I wouldn't be too surprised to see how this is going to play out.
Yeah, very curious indeed. If you're the Soniqs, this has got to be a round that you win right now, and there's really no excuses. So, gonna have to be seeing exactly where this round goes, as it looks like they're gonna be pressuring primarily onto this top floor, just based on where the rappels are going from a glance here, but. Yeah, it's going to be the dining and reading room. So, the new bomb site that has recently been added onto Cafe.
I don't think it's impossible for Soniqs to come around and win out this round. This site is really reliant on you taking upstairs, so I think if they're able to take upstairs very efficiently, there is a minute down so far, and it doesn't look like they made too much progress, really, onto sort of clearing out upstairs. It looks like there's 2 or 3 players actually sitting on the defender side, just waiting for the attackers to fall into their arms so they can maybe pick up a couple kills and add on to that scoreboard.
Yeah, trying to see what they can't salvage on this round is the drops are going to start to come out onto the red stairs, but again, Sexy Kick rocking on this Echo is going to be spotting out anybody that tries to rotate through. As Slebin's actually made his way into mining, trying to find that angle onto the white stairs, as Sexy Kick's just gathering info onto this entire top floor. You better be careful of Slebin, who is on that IQ, waiting for Sexy Kick to possibly get a little bit lackluster, but no, it's Nesk and Moringa. They're going to attack on 2 kills. Goddess will finally trade it out, but at what cost? You lost your buck, you lost your IQ. Valkyrie has gone down, so that's 1 nitro cell off the board. But again, not too much for Tear, as it's going to be in favor of Team Liquid here.
And it is 55 seconds left just about, and that's going to prove to be an issue because they need to start working on his execute as 2 kills come out, and Liquid flurry of kills. Oh my goodness, what happened to Soniqs that we saw on the first map? Looks like a timeout is actually going to be called from Super. So we're going to be able to talk about the rounds, what exactly happened. We're going to just see what do you think they'll make a difference of? What can possibly happen here?
I don't know. I just think that they need to figure out how these attacks are coming, because everybody from the Soniqs they're pushing kind of solo, and they're not really gathering the intel that they need before they make these attacks happen. You saw them just walking walking lackadaisically down the red carpet through pillars, and I mean, those were easy kills for the players that were still remaining above. And if you're gonna make that push down the pillar's doorway, you've got to be able to hold those angles onto the top floor if you want to not get just peeked and killed like that.
It's going to be interesting to see what differences they try and make on this bar cocktail attack. Now, the first time around, they weren't really able to do anything. They still aren't bringing any smokes. And when you open up that entire bar, we are going to be getting back into this match, but when you open up this entire bar, there's no cover. I mean, you can shoot through the bar regardless, but at least you have that visual cover where someone might not know you're there. So that's going to be the biggest thing to me, is the fact that they're not bringing smokes, but at the same time, who do you replace for the smokes? Like, which operator do you take out? Because the Valkyrie actually got 6th pick onto the mute, but they don't know that ahead of time because it is that 6th pick. And they're trying to get rid of those Valkyrie cams, but honestly, I think the Valkyrie cams are the least of their worries right now. They're not even able to get into sight.
Yeah. We see Neptunes. He's actually going to switch over to an Ashe here, so I don't know. It should be interesting. It looks like they're trying to bring a little bit more fragging power on the side of the Soniqs, so it should be interesting to see whether or not this is going to work out, as we might even see a spawn kill here from Sexy Cake.
5 seconds to insertion.
It looks like he might be going for the godly peek, where he just throws the drone on there and just peeks everybody. So we'll find out here shortly, as it looks like that's exactly what he's doing. Yeah, he's got the drones set up here, and it could possibly open them up. Yeah, but that's actually gonna get one taken down quite early on there. I'm not sure how they were able to really spot that, but a nice shot there by Sleben.
And that's a good switch to have Super move over to the Sledge, and then have Sleben move over to the IQ. I think maybe there was just a operator issue that they were running into, but hopefully we'll see maybe a difference in how this round plays out, given the fact that the operators did switch off people that they were on before. But that we can't speak too soon on the results of that, given that it hasn't happened yet. But heading on in, we have a minute down. It looks like they're actually trying to take from below. I would imagine that you might see Super try and get this open downstairs in library and maybe throw a nade or something up through.
Definitely going to be looking for that to come on through at any second now, but looks like we're going to be seeing Sleben trying to rock in through the piano, as they're going to be trying to make this attack happen. But with those Kaid in the floor actually from PSK, that's going to allow for them to remain a lot more easily. Even if there was being a twitch being brought, it'd be very hard for her to be able to find that electrical. It's going to be left up to Sleben here to see if he can't figure out where exactly this electrical is and if he can actually shoot it through the floor or not. But it doesn't look like he actually can.
The biggest thing is, too, is there's someone currently down in library. So you can't exactly just go on downing. Sexy K getting the opening kill on this round onto Sleben, actually. So that's going to be your IQ goodbye. Not too sure what the game plan is here.
Yeah, Goddess will tack on a second kill onto Sexy Cake, so that will be the Echo off the board. A big pick there to take down him and disable those drones for the rest of this round, as they make it back to a 4v4 with about 50 seconds left. we will see the rappel come into the new balcony here. Ness knows that there's somebody here. Is going to go for the pre-fire, but isn't able to land the shot onto Super, as he's going to be lit up to about 20 HP before being finished off by Gomfi, as Gomfi and Goddess both push in and find kills of their own. They've got full control of site as Gomfi picks up another one, leaving this all up to PSK. He'll take off the head of Gomfi, though, leaving us in a 2v1 situation, as the plant will be finished off by Goddess. PSK here to try to clutch out this situation, but doesn't know exactly where everybody is. He does spot the Ash on the other side of the bar here, but isn't able to land the shots, as he's going to pull out that pistol, goes for the shot on the Goddess, but ACOG v ACOG, it's going to be Thermite that wins that out. The first round finally coming from the Susquehanna Soniqs.
One of the biggest things to point out that I feel like a lot of people don't realize is that the LAN build, when you're playing on LAN, you don't have very much. You probably have nothing close to what you have in terms of spawn peak advantage or the peekers advantage that you normally get with that ping differential, because they are playing on LAN. So right there, it could have honestly came down to Goddess saw him first, but with no peekers advantage or anything like that, that long angle really works in her favor, especially given that she was able to get that plant down and was able to cover it correctly.
Yeah, definitely big props to her rocking on that Thermite and trying to push us again here off of map number 3.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
We're tied
as many
up
bombs as
all
they can.
one apiece here. The first map was played on Villa. Was a 7-4 in favor of the Soniqs. Map number 2, a little bit of a different story. We went to Bank, and that was quite an easy contest for Liquid. They took that one 7-2, and after taking the first 3 rounds here on Cafe, we'll finally see the Soniqs take a round off of the Titans of Team Liquid. So, will they be able to carry this momentum now onto a basement attack? We'll just have to wait and see here, as it's a fairly similar lineup this time coming out yet again from Team Liquid.
Yeah, and I think that it's going to come down to, honestly, if you can get that wall open. It just seems like the Kaid is really proving to be a problem on the Sonic side of their attacks, because Kaid really just stopping them dead in their tracks. And it's interesting to see that they're using this Kaid and Mute combo. The Mute stopping them from being able to drone, and the other Kaid stopping them from actually being able to get into that wall. But they were able to find that first Mute charge. Going to probably be saving those Kaids for the bakery wall, rather than sort of that kitchen wall you're seeing getting opened up right there.
Yeah, so hopefully they have a little bit of an easier time opening up this wall, like we were talking about with that Electra Claw. So it looks like the Maverick's going to be doing that same trick yet again, but you're going to have to be, again, careful that the Thermite charge doesn't get impact tricked. So it's going to be interesting. It looks like Gonfi will use his own impacts there to take off the Kaid trap, and Moringa's actually going to be stunned and flashed out of his mind, as he'll try to go for that impact trick, and it looks like he will be successful as he's getting pushed from the hallway. Not a lot of damage getting taken out, but Moringa will actually be saved by Ness on that SMG-11 as well. So looked as though Comfy tried to go for the aggressive play there, but will get shut down by Liquid, as they have all of their crosses covered.
Do you think that maybe they should have saved that Thermite charge for the bakery walls, so that way you can at least have this, like, 2? You can at least play around with 2, because they keep using that first one on the other wall, and they're unable to do anything else with it. It sounds like they have the Maverick. If their whole goal is to pretty much watch that flank, just have Maverick open a line on it. I don't think you need to use a Thermite charge,
No.
but 3v5, a minute left, it's not looking good for Soniqs.
You can definitely, like, you know the trick where you can definitely just do the line, and then you can actually hammer out the rest of that wall. Obviously, Neptune's doesn't seem like he's the most experienced on Maverick. Definitely not up to Sexy Cake's level, but either way, he's trying his best here, and he's trying to open up this wall, but it just doesn't seem like he knows the angles very well, and they're having to fight back through this hole with the ACOG from that Kaid on the pistol. So difficult angle to try to win out, as they haven't even opened up this main wall yet. It looks like Super just hit a metal plate. So Yeah, definitely not the Maverick player is Neptune's. As PSK rips off another head with that sidearm, leaving us in a 2v4 situation. All left up to the sledge now of Super as he's being echoed. He's being shot from multiple directions. PSK will end off that round and put his team up 4-1.
So this is going to be the last round of this half. And honestly, if it ends up being 5-1 in Liquid's favor, that might be the nail in the coffin that is needed for Liquid to move on. Not impossible. We did see Soniqs pull out 5 rounds in a row earlier, but it just doesn't seem like Soniqs are able to efficiently work on into the site. I genuinely think if they put the Maverick on that wall rather than the Thermite, you might have a better outcome, because I think the whole goal is to watch that angle. But at least with the Maverick, if you just put a line, you don't have to worry about someone being able to shoot your body. They have to shoot your head. So it just makes it a lot harder for you to peek it and a lot harder to target for you to hit. It'll be something that they'll need to go look at and refine. Kepe is the newer map in this rotation, so there is still a lot of things that are getting worked out. There's a lot of quirks that have to get worked out, and especially with the new roster that Soniqs have, those 2 additions from EU. They do have to work that out with their teammates.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a learning curve here for the Soniqs, as it's a very new roster. They just came over from Europe, so they're going to need a little bit of time to get that chemistry completely down pat. But either way, definitely a big improvement for this roster, as they've made it all the way to the quarterfinals and picking out quite some heavy hitters on their way here. They obviously had a disappointing show out against TSM yesterday, or was it this morning? I think it was this morning, actually. But either way, they took down FaZe just not too long ago, and they took a map off of Liquid as well. And with this new of a roster, and with the success that or the lack thereof, that they have seen inside of Pro League, it's definitely an improvement for this roster.
Attackers have located a bomb.
I think one of the biggest things is that I want Soniqs to at least go to the 4-2 scoreline, so that way they have some room to work with. The problem is when you go 5-1, or I guess you're down 5-1, you only have 1 round to really make a mistake. At least if it's a 2-4 scoreline, you still have 2 rounds to make a mistake on. And that's just going to come down to their defense. They have to play a tight defense, make sure that they don't lose any rounds, and make sure that they try not to lose anybody too early on. And I think that that's what their plan is going into the second half. But we're still in this half right now, and we're still on the last round of this half. So we're going to see how Nep is able to try to get this wall open right now. Flashbang's coming out just to watch White Stairs and watch White Hallway. Make sure not to push in. Gomfi actually pushing in very quickly. They didn't actually open up Freezer from the defender's side right now. But C4 coming on out. Moringa getting a kill on the Gomfi. Don't go on your cams. What are you doing, PSK? But it looks like they're going to be making some very, very quick headway into the rest of this round.
This is kind of interesting here, the double reinforcements coming out from Liquid to force them to have to use both of those exothermic charges, and PSK will find 1 frag for himself before finally getting traded out. So the trades will actually go in favor of Soniqs, as they'll find 2 kills again on the top floor, leaving us in a 3v2 situation. Paula all the way down on the basement, possibly rotate back up, as there's no more nitro cells, no more utility to deny this plant from the defense. Still a lot of utility on the attack. Well, actually no utility on the attack, because it is a Twitch and it is an IQ. Could possibly find out those Valkyrie cameras, but with this short of amount of time left in the round, we will hear 1 more of those Valkyrie cameras get spotted out and taken away.
Yeah, and I think right now, Super on the Twitch, Goddess on the Thermite, and Slevin on the IQ. It's possible. It's not impossible for them to win it out. I think they have the operators to do so. It's just a matter of if they're getting the kills, and Slevin able to get the kill, and they have to get 1 more to close out this round, putting them in a 2-4 scoreline right now. They know exactly where he currently is, but Moringa gonna try to push on out, try to take this 1v1 right now. He's locked inside of Library. Plant has to go down in time. It looks like Moringa able to get 1 kill, almost able to get the 3rd kill. Moringa actually picked up 2 kills right there, but unable to pick up Goddess. That's a very smart play from Soniqs to be able to sort of everyone peak at the same time rather than 1 at a time, like that almost was. I don't know how he got that flick onto the second person, but fantastic job from Soniqs to close out the round. Very nearly almost losing it though.
I don't know what Goddess was doing. I mean, she had the diffuser in her hands. I don't know why she was going for the frag with the rest of her team. She could have just planted the bomb and let them possibly go frag chase, but I'm not too sure what she had in mind. Maybe they were just all frag chasing and just gonna completely corner the smoke, or Moringa. I don't remember if it was a smoke or a mute, but either way, Moringa. Just corner him and just trap him like a caged animal. And if only that SMG had more than 17 bullets, he could have possibly won that round out. But yeah,
That's true. I think the biggest thing is I would imagine the call went out for everyone to peek him like that because of that exact reason. If you lose 2 people for whatever reason, at least you have a third person to follow it up. So I don't think the call was horrible, especially given they knew exactly where he was. It wasn't like he was rotating out through rotation hole. They knew where he was. But it could have been very risky had Goddess, and I believe that was Sleben, had both of them died and left to a lonely super. You know what I mean? So that,
5 seconds remaining.
they did risk it a lot, but I think right now you're facing a possible 1 to 5 scoreline, which you don't want. You just kind of gotta risk it, high risk, high reward type situation.
yeah, definitely agree with you there. And we're gonna be seeing now our second half. So the Soniqs ended up making it out of that half with a 4-2 scoreline, which after watching those first 3 rounds, I definitely think it's a win for the Soniqs, especially on Cafe. They now get to go over to their own defenses, which is favored heavily on Cafe. So hopefully we're going to be seeing a little bit more success here for the Soniqs, as we're going to be seeing that that standard roam that we see so often on Cafe with the Mozzie down below on a cocktail defense.
I think the biggest thing to me also is when you have new players that come in the roster, not to make the excuse or anything like that, but just saying is that you do have a lot of chemistry that needs to be made and that has to be brought in. And you can't do that, especially when you have people from EU. It's not a right away thing. You haven't played with these people before necessarily. You just bring them on as star players from EU. So there is some chemistry to be had there. That's why their attacks look a little lackluster. But what in the world are you doing, Net? Peeking the skylight, Gomfi following it up. Aggressive plays coming out on the defense, almost a minute 20 in, and we already have a trade come out. But as I was saying, the roster needs a little bit more chemistry. That's why their attacks look a little bit lackluster, and their defenses has been a little bit stronger. There's not as much coordination that needs to be brought in because you're not working on trying to get the diffuser down or anything like that. We're going to see how this defense is able to play together and possibly close out this round or put Liquid into a 2 to 5 scoreline.
Yeah. Already, it was a pretty meaningless trade. Jaeger's already got his ADSs down, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. And you lost your set of grenades, which is probably the bigger of the 2 losses, definitely. As we see Super, he gotta go for an aggressive peek here on the piano before choosing to fall back. So playing it quite similarly to the way we saw Liquid with that mute. And again, without the Thatcher available, it looks like Sexy Cake is going to be able to open up that wall anyway, possibly doing a prone hole. I'm not sure exactly how that was done, but no, it looks like he just opened it up normally. So gonna have to work here with the time. Only 30 seconds left. Still stuck in a 4v4 as it's an aggressive push-up from Gonthi. What are you doing? He's just going to get shut down there by Sexy Cake, ready for the push. Goddess holding a nice angle here, is just waiting for the push to come. Sexy Cake taken down to about 1 HP as PSK just propels into the new balcony. He'll take down 1, that's 2 for Liquid as they'll clean things up. Paulo on the Nomad will find Goddess and Sleben, both headshots. What a round from Liquid.
That Kaid not being on Sonic's 5-man right there, like not being on their roster for that round, kind of made the difference because they were really relying on that mute to hold the wall. But the problem is the mute can actually be shot from the skylight. There's nothing really to defend that mute from the skylight besides the Valkyrie peeking it or Neptune's peeking it on the Jaeger. They both peeked the skylight. Nep did fall, but you can't rely on someone peeking the skylight, and it looks like they won't be bringing Kaid again. We just saw how strong Kaid was on Liquid's defense. I'm curious as to what exactly is going into this. I think they're relying on Super and Slebin to deny all the intel, but it doesn't even matter when this wall keeps getting open.
Yeah. That round just honestly looked rough from the Soniqs. I mean, we saw late in the round that those two players were just allowed to rappel in and just cause havoc. There was no call. There was nobody was listening for the sound cue, or maybe they just didn't hear the sound cue. But either way, that's not something that really should be able to happen, and definitely worrisome here for the Soniqs.
I think that they're going to play this a little bit differently now, though, this time around. I believe that was PSK who actually entered in from either the first floor or second floor, but basically was trying to clear from the bottom. So I'm curious to see if they're able to play this a little bit differently, maybe hold downstairs a little bit stronger. They got to work on getting these C4s in the correct positions. They have 3 C4s, or possible C4s at the very least, on their team right now. So with that possibility, try to use Gomfi to try, or Slebin, excuse me, to go under and possibly get a C4 with the Mozzie, because at least if you can get a drone, put that drone inside Piano, and you can maybe get someone who's trying to push on in.
I agree. I think that the Nitro Cell on Mozzie is very strong, especially because you can use your drones to be able to gather intel on where you might be able to toss that Nitro Cell, and just any time that you're able to bring a Nitro Cell, I definitely think it's worth it because of the explosiveness, because of the ability to find easy frags with it. It's definitely a very strong piece of utility for any attacker or for any defender. So it's always I disagree with the barbed wire choice, especially on a map like this. But he is going to be bringing he does have the Nitro Cell, so I disagree with the barbed wire in more cases than not, is what I'm trying to say.
I think the biggest thing is they actually have that crazy rotation hole right there. It's not even rotation hole, it's just a shooting through hole, able to get that C4. Oh my god, Slebin finding the head of Sexy Cake. They're not getting that freezer open now. It's going to rely on the rest of his team to try to just push on in. What a great pick by Slebin. He didn't even need to use his C4, but now I believe they still have 3 C4s. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on the attacking side to try and pick out someone from below. But we'll see how this decides to play out.
Yeah, definitely interesting to say the least, as Paulo will tack on another one. Nazca's trying to find the frag here inside of the cocktail lounge, but it's got us holding that long angle takedown. Nazca, he was on such little HP to begin with. Still have these rappels, though, on the east side that they're going to have to worry about. This was their downfall in the previous round, so it'll be interesting to see how it turns out again, as PSK will take one down onto Goddess. They've got pretty much full site control. There is one still inside of the bathroom, as PSK will get down and finish off from behind. Moringa's trying to get the trade out, but doesn't know where anybody is. Gomfi will finally finish that off as Paulo gets the trade. It's going to be Moringa to try to stick this plant, but there's no ammo on the AK. The Nitro Cell comes flying through from the mute, and it's actually a double down here. It's actually a 1v2 here for Super on the mute. Can he possibly clutch this out? He actually is going to go for the pickup here on to his teammate. That's going to give Paulo a chance to reload. So low HP here from 2 members from both teams. Gomfi's going to have to try to come in here and try to go for a trade, but it looks like they're aware of this. As he comes flying around the corner, Paulo will rip his head off. Super finds 1 kill, and it leaves us in a 1v1. Both members are on pretty full HP. Super against Paulo. SMG with a shotgun against the Nomad with that AK in hand, but the Nomad charge is perfectly placed. But what? Super just walks through it and takes down Paulo? How does that happen? We heard the Nomad charge go off, but it didn't do anything.
Attackers win.
What probably happened was it was probably at a weird angle where he put it, and so it went off, but the force and the impact of it didn't actually throw him across the doorway or throw him across the room.
What did it do to him then?
No, that happens every so often that the air jab goes off, but it doesn't necessarily throw someone across the room because of the angle it's at. It might be blocked by some random object on the wall that just so happened to be at the correct angle, but unable to pick up the kill, or actually unable to pick up the diffuser, excuse me, Super, and it's going to put this at match point.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
Oh, he didn't even defuse the bomb. Oh, I didn't
no,
even...
he didn't even go through it,
Oh.
or he didn't have time.
Oh, shit. Wow. That was interesting. I mean, Paulo won the round anyway, I guess, but
Attackers need to locate and defuse
that's
as
just
many bombs as they
Ubisoft
can.
at its finest, I guess. I mean, I don't even know what just happened there, because like we heard the Nomad charge go off, but it didn't do anything. So definitely, Paulo definitely felt weird about that. Was probably definitely triggered about that. So unfortunate that it had to happen, but either way they won the round, so it doesn't even really matter. So taking a look at the scoreboard here, Neptune's 1-7, Super 2-7.
Seconds left before insertion.
Yeah, I don't know. You gotta try to be picking things up, especially Neptune's. He's one of the better fraggers on this team, and
Attackers are moving
it's
to defuse the bomb.
it's unfortunate to see. It's unfortunate to see that he's struggling this much, and again, there's no real reason why. Probably maybe just having a bad map or what have you. But they're gonna have to come alive here if Soniqs have any chance of taking this map and moving on to the semifinals.
I think the biggest thing to point out, especially as you were touching on the scoreboard, is the fact that I don't have the exact stats because we don't have it in Siege just quite yet with the API. But the biggest thing is that he's been getting, I believe, opening death almost every single round, if not at least the first or second death every single round. And he's been unable to sort of be an impact on these rounds because of that. And so one of the things that they could maybe do is maybe move him to more passive, but I think the positions that he's playing or they're having him play just are so aggressive that you end up either taking down someone down with you, either getting an opening kill or just dying right out, because that's really the only option he's been given. But we'll have to see how this round plays out. This is match point. This is series point. So this is for all the marbles, so to speak, for them to be able to close this out.
Yeah, and it's really looking good for FaZe, as they might even be our only non-NA team going into the quarters. As I mean, based on the score right now, Dark Zero is up against BDS 1-3, and they're also up a map as well. So this could be an interesting set of quarterfinals here with a lot of NA teams being represented. But we still have to get through these last couple maps, these last couple rounds for each map, and see exactly where we will be taken for tomorrow. But with only a minute left in the round here, not a lot has happened in terms of pressure onto this site. It looks like they're not even inside the building yet. They're just now entering piano. Will be Sexy Cake, but I mean, again, this has been given to you for free, so I'm curious as to why it's taking so long for this to happen. But it seems as though with about 45 seconds left, they're going to start to finally make this push happen.
I think one of the biggest changes that actually came to this map was the fact that you have those new balconies to be able to hold this down. Paula finding the first kill onto the round, that's going to be onto Nesk following it up the kill of his own onto Sleb, and not looking good for Soniqs right now. 25 seconds left on the board.
25 seconds left indeed, and it's going to be Nest to shut down that jump out from Super as Sexy Cake takes down Goddess. Comfy stuck in between a rock and a hard place in a 1v5, and it's going to be the flawless round here from Liquid, as we will be seeing them join us tomorrow for the semifinals. I don't think we know which team they will be facing yet, as none of the other matches have finished up. We are the first people here to finish up. So GG's come out, and what a game it was indeed. Kind of a disappointing performance, I'd say, from the Soniqs after they played so well against FaZe and to just fall short against Team Liquid. They definitely had a good run, but unfortunate to say the least that it had to end in the way it did.
Just to add on to what you were saying, Liquid is going to play whoever wins the EG versus SSG game right now, and I believe they are on map 3.